It's festival season, folks. Get excited. There's festivals going all over the place. We'll talk about the ones happening and the ones that are coming up. We're going to play It Came from the Parks. We're going to talk about a lot of weird stuff tonight. Tonight on ParksCenter. Welcome to ParksCenter for January 21st, 2024. Good golly. I'm your host, Rob Whiteside. Thank you guys so much for being with us. We appreciate you. If you have not already, please subscribe to WDWNT TV for more great content. And also, please make sure that you give us a thumbs up so it helps people to find us. Tonight, again, another crack squad of Disney panelists for you, including Stephanie.
Gong hei fat chow to my friend Hillary over in Hong Kong, and happiness and prosperity to all of you.
Holy mackerel. Desi, top that one.
Aloha. Magandang gabi.
Patrick Hackett.
I'm wrapped in munchlings.
And you're just a child. You're just a child. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to that. Thank you guys so much for being with us tonight. We appreciate it. Tonight on ParksCenter, we're going to be going through about a dozen topics, everything that happened in Disney parks in the last week. And we're going to start with the festivals. The festivals, big deals going on. I know that two of our folks, Desi and Patrick, just got back from the Festival of the Arts. Yeah, because there are popcorn buckets in view. So, Desi, I mean, we've talked a little bit about the Festival of the Arts. We had Michelle on last week telling a little bit about it. But just any general impressions you want to share with everybody before we start talking about the next fest?
I loved it. It's the best fest. And if you can get down here before this festival is over, it's sad that it's so short.
Yeah, and Patrick, this was your first one, right?
Yeah, it was my first, and I hope it's not my last. The weather was a little weird. It got legitimately cold for me as a New Englander. I was chilly in the parks, but it's the best festival. If you are a fan of like Comic-Con, what I used to really love to do was go down Artist Alley and talk to the artists. Man, the people there, I might not be able to afford their art, and please don't go there complaining about how expensive their art is. They're taking their time and making art, oftentimes in front of you, and they'll charge for it what they think it's worth, but just say thank you because it beautifies the park in ways that I really did not expect, and it really moved me. Great festival. Call it the farts.
Okay. So all the
Never.
See, that's the thing. Come on, dude. Yeah, it's the
That's
best fest. It's the best fest. The fact that you're no,
Love
stop it.
Yeah, the farts.
Anyway, you were talking about the artwork, which I think is really cool. We've got a guide on our
I got
website,
that piece.
wdwnt.com. Wait, which piece?
The middle.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Take it out of the tube, hold it up. This shouldn't take more than 20 minutes.
Yeah, we'll take a real long time.
What I was going to say was that guide that we have on our site is pretty cool because it's every piece of artwork that you can buy with the prices at the 2024 EPCOT International Festival of the Arts. So that's kind of cool that is on our website. Go check it out, wdwnt.com. But as Desi alluded to, this is a very short festival because there's another one on the way. Right behind it, it's the festival that's called the Flower and Garden Festival. And you know what? Honestly, before FODA, I'm going to call it that. I'm just going to call it that. It was my favorite festival for a while because I love the flowers and the classes and things that they would do and the little playgrounds. Like for having little kids, they were great because they would always have those little pop-up playgrounds. Stephanie, do you rank them? I assume Festival of the Arts is your favorite for you, or is it Flower and Garden or Food and Wine or Holidays?
No, I'm very sad that I wasn't able to get down there in February this year. We usually go, and we're not going this year for Festival of the Arts. It's the first time since 2017 I haven't been able to go, so I'm FOMO, guys. But that Flower Garden is my next favorite. Maybe I'll get down there for that one. But yes, I agree with you. They used to have like the pop-up areas for the play areas for the kids, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun. And I honestly feel like it's more beautiful. Like Patrick was talking about the art, just adding to Epcot and just making it so much better and grander as you walk through. And yeah, I think that this Flower and Garden does the same thing. Sometimes the topiaries, like they get a little they get kind of the same repetitiveness, over the years. It's kind of the same ones. So I liked it when they add new ones, but I love the orange bird merch. That's my jam.
Well, let's talk about the new things, because there's going to be this Groot topiary, which I'm kind of digging.
It's cool.
He's
Yeah.
holding up the cassette and everything, and it looks like there's going to be some from Wish. Wait, they're going to be promoting Wish? That's crazy. Who saw that coming? But yeah, here's a list of all the ones that are going to be there, and it looks like this festival is going to hang into Orange Bird, as you said, for merchandise. But there's, I think, 4 merchandise lines that are going to be associated with this one, and Orange Bird is one of them. But it's going to be Orange Bird, Cocoa, Butterfly Collection, and Annual Passholder Collections. So that's interesting. Like Orange Bird, I feel like is a flower and garden guy. Like I think that's one that we see a lot. There's the bag that you were talking about, and then there's Cocoa merch. Cocoa, I mean, it doesn't seem to make sense to me. You're looking up, Desi. Do you feel like Cocoa is a good fit for the Flower and Garden Festival, I guess?
I mean, it's colorful. Maybe it's not the right time of year for it, certainly.
That's what I'm talking about.
If you're going to pigeonhole it into anything other than the time of year that it's supposed to be, maybe Festival of the Arts would make a little bit more sense. I'm not sure I'm understanding the flower and garden. Maybe because there's a lot of flowers in that artwork. I don't know.
Could be. I don't know. I'm with you, though. It's not the right time of year. Like, it should be, I guess, Food and Wine. But last year, Food and Wine was Encanto. This could just be me. Maybe Disney's looking for some synergy with some of these. Maybe it's not about making sense. I'm just spitballing. Let's talk about the festival that is starting on the 23rd of January, which is the yeah, it's happening. It's the Lunar New Year, not the Flower and Garden. It's the Lunar New Year, and they're gonna have this at Disney California Adventure. I love this this merch that they have here, especially this little Mickey dressed as a dragon. Are you kidding me? Come on, that's adorable. This is one that this festival I think is very cool. We've talked about it a little bit and some of the things that are coming. We already also on our website have a preview of some of the food that's coming for the Lunar New Year celebration. This one is a really short one too. This one ends in February. It starts end of January and ends in February. So this is one that if you're in California, you're probably going to have a good time getting out there to see it. If not, it's probably too late to plan a trip. But also there's going to be a meet and greet with Ming Lee and Mei Lin from Turning Red. But this is not what I expected. Like, this is them just chilling in their, like, this is their everyday outfit, not like as the big red panda.
Yeah.
I know you're. I don't know. Patrick, you're a fan of the movie Turning Red. Is this the meet and greet that you've wanted?
No, not at all. This is the weirdest possible choice that they could have made. Why is it not Mei Mei? If you want humans, why isn't it Four Town?
It is Mei Mei, but
You
exactly.
know what I meant. Panda Mei Mei, not Mei Mei. Want a panda? Want to hug a panda? I don't. Hugging people is weird. I want to hug animals.
Unless it's Four Town.
Unless it's Four Town, who I do want to hug. I would like to hug Four Town very much.
I would
also
like to hug Four Town. I want a Four Town stage show where I just listen to that music. If I'm going to be hugging a character, give me the big red fluffy panda. You make a big deal in the movie about how huggable she is, and then you're going to give me this Mei Mei? I mean, come on.
It's so
please.
weird.
We need Panda Mei Mei.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
I
and
think
again,
maybe they did this just to sell those tails. Like, oh look, you can look just like her if you just buy the tail and the ears.
Well, the other thing about this one, and I don't know how familiar you guys are with California Adventure, but this is over beside, like tucked over in the side by Mermaid, like at the back side of Mermaid. Like this doesn't make any sense to me either. It seems very out of the way. When they did Oswald in the Year of the Rabbit, they did it all down by the Paradise Garden.
I mean, San Francisco would be a fine place, you know?
Wait, stop making sense. Japan. That is crazy. Why would that? No, that wouldn't make any sense.
Also, we have a Canada pavilion. They're Canadian. Put them in the Canada Pavilion.
Yeah, but that's California. Why? I mean, I don't disagree
because
with you.
They get
I think that would be great.
That we don't get. I understand. I see.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a point of contention for you for a long time. So,
for a very long time.
Go.
They're probably gonna have amazing food for this festival, and we're gonna have diddly.
I don't think we've ever had a meet and greet in Canada.
There should be.
We need to make this happen.
Should be May.
As a panda,
Bear
not as
Brother
a
Bear.
Yeah, I was gonna say Brother Bear seems like that one would have made sense. So, before we go any further, I do want to say that we have a super chat, and from Jungle Cruiser Stephanie, here is some cash for more Mickey Premium bars. Haven't seen you with one in some time. Thank you, Jungle
Appreciate
Cruiser.
that. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Anytime anybody gives money for ice cream, that's a good thing. So, thanks, Jungle Cruiser.
I gotta say, on that topic, I made a switch on this trip. The cookies and cream sandwich. The cookies and cream sandwich. I think it's better than the Mickey Premium bar.
Oh.
It's, I don't know. I made the switch this trip, and I don't regret it at all.
Okay. I'm not 100% sure that's true, that it's better.
That's true. I think it's better.
If I had the polling tool ready to go, we would ask phone a friend here on that one. I don't think that's true. But anyway, let's move on to talk about Mardi Gras a little bit, because Mardi Gras is the universal answer really to the festivals. Obviously, Universal is known more for Halloween Horror Nights, but they do it up for Mardi Gras. There's a lot of things that they do very similar to what Disney does, and they actually call it the this feels like a little too much like Disney. They're calling it the International Flavors of Carnaval at Universal Studios. So like it feels a little bit forced on the whole international thing, but they do have food booths all through Universal Studios theme park, not islands, but through Universal. And then they have beignets. Can't ever go wrong with beignets. And then they have the floats that they bring through, and they're gorgeous. The floats are absolutely amazing. I remember the years of COVID, they just kind of put the floats out and you could see them, but they bring the floats through. And then we were talking about this a little bit before the show, is that you can either, as a pass holder, you can kind of sign up to get a spot to stand on the float and throw beads, or you can buy a dining package for the opportunity to take 2 hours out of your night and dress up in a smock and throw beads. Everyone who talks about it says it's amazing. Like, people fight over this all the time. But Stephanie, you and I were talking about it a little bit, and you're actually down where they actually do this for real, and you said you've never been on the floats in Universal, right?
No, I've never been to the on the floats at Universal. However, we were there during Mardi Gras last year, so last February. And yes, I agree with you. The food booths, like if you look at their offerings, they have, things from Jamaica and, Spain and things like that. And so it does feel more carnival-y, instead of just straight like gumbo and seafood and things. No, they have that too. And yes, you can go wrong with beignets if you don't do them right. If they're not airy and they're gooey and kind of, anyway, they're not fluffy. But yes, the floats are fun. They're gorgeous. And I really love the theme this year. I don't know how it's going to translate, actually, because it's like a metal theme, isn't it? Like something about metallurgy or something like this. It's interesting. So it might be more metallic looking. It's going to be cool.
Yeah. Well, they also do a concert series. That, again, feels very familiar, doesn't it? They have food booths. They have a concert series. Walker Hayes, the All-American Rejects, Elle King, Casey and the Sunshine Band. Talk about a throwback. Look it up, kids. Bare Naked Ladies, DJ Khaled, Woo! Ava Max, Queen Latifah, Louis Fonsi, and Zed.
Legitimate concerts.
I would.
Yeah, Zed's going to be out there spinning those tracks. What were you about to say, Dizzy?
I would consider going to Universal to see Bare Naked Ladies. They're one of my favorite bands. Okay. Not much else would get me to go to Universal until they bring back to the Future. So,
that's right.
Back to the Future or Bare Naked Ladies. That. That's what does it for me.
I forgot you had a little bit of a boycott because of the Back to the Future. Yeah, exactly. I mean, what's so funny is some of those that we look back on that were amazing attractions, and they don't have them anymore. Jaws and Confrontation. People are sleeping on Confrontation. Yes. That was a great attraction. And
Mummy's
like,
okay
nah.
though. Like Mummy's a decent replacement for that. Mummy's a good attraction.
I don't disagree. I think I just feel like it's something. It was a roller coaster they could have put anywhere, and it didn't have to be in that one.
The fact of the matter is that they could switch out the film for whenever they want to celebrate Back to the Future, and they don't. We saw it with Soarin' Over California come back. I was there on Back to the Future Day in 2015, and I had every hope in my body that I was going to ride that attraction. It's the same exact film. It's the same exact bumps. They could just switch the film out. There's no reason that they couldn't do that. None.
They got to bring back the DeLorean.
Preach. Especially now that Disney owns The Simpsons.
Yeah, we own like 3/3.
We don't want it.
3/3 is a lot. Sorry.
Yeah.
2/3, a third.
True.
Yeah.
I had a little early Mardi Gras myself.
Yeah, you did. Anyway, let's move on to Valentine. Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Hopefully you've got something planned for your Valentine, but if not, take them to a Disney park and get an ugly popcorn bucket. That's right.
Oh!
There is actually a popcorn bucket that I wouldn't do. It exists. It exists. Like, we know I have a problem with popcorn bucket. I know. I didn't either. But then Disney was like, "Hold my beer. Here it is." It's
so
it's
ugly.
just
It's so ugly.
I mean, we had a bigger story on it, but I mean, there's other stuff here that's really cool looking. That popcorn bucket is just a little bit too much for me. But some of this food looks pretty cool. And again, I applaud Disney for doing what they do in the parks for for Valentine's Day and for Black History Month and some of the celebrating women and these things where they bring out something new and different, to help celebrate the time of year. It makes it a little bit different and special when you're there. What's that?
Hat Day. Hat Day. I was there for Hat Day 2024.
Wow.
Oh,
I love these stupid little things. It's great.
I agree.
This is what they should be doing.
Yeah.
What hat did you wear?
I wore this hat.
Did you really?
Aww.
Yeah, I wore that hat. Yeah.
And they let you in.
They do.
Oh.
It's always a fear.
We're about to go into the next one, the after hours. Can I just say this? I really wish that they would bring back an after hours for Valentine's Day at Disney World. I wish they'd do the Sweetheart Night like they do at Disneyland. Why don't they do that at Disney World? If they're selling tickets to after hours events anyway, why not theme them like they used to and do a couple throughout February and maybe one into early January or March or something like that, so more people have opportunity to go.
That sounds like a lot of work.
No, you just put them in a different costume and you put the characters out there. You already got the food offerings. You're done.
That sounds like more work than close the gates to regular people, put on wristbands, and charge $175 a ticket. But we'll start.
Don't forget a nighttime fireworks show that no one likes.
Right.
Oh, yes. That's right. Especially for you. Look, before we go on, we have another super chat from our good friend Jungle Cruiser. Patrick, if you go to DLR, we now have a grape flavored beignet at Mint Julep Bar. Try them on me. Thank you, Jungle Cruiser, for the super chat and for the beginning of Patrick's journey. Maybe you and I can go and split them.
I don't know how I feel about grape flavored beignets.
So here's the thing. Stephanie was saying, like, you can screw up beignets. It's true. The worst thing about a beignet is they don't keep. Like, you have to eat them now. Whether it's Café Du Monde or it's Mint Julep, you've got to eat them now. And so they're not like put them in your pocket and save them for later. That's not going to happen.
Right.
But I do think that some of the flavored ones are kind of neat, but I get them so seldom that I almost don't want to get the flavored ones like the gingerbread or the peppermint or whatever else they're doing, because I want to have like the OG exactly the grape one, the OG one. I don't know though, they could be delicious. I know that
they could be.
Is it Ralph Brenman's does like flavored ones, so that might be something
maybe
to try.
Like
but
peanut butter and jelly. I don't know.
It is not peanut butter jelly time. Okay.
Pez grape flavor. Like, what kind of grape are we talking about?
I don't know, but if Patrick, when you were at Festival of the Arts, did you try the Figment drink?
Oh God, I did.
And?
Oh God, it was hideous. It is one of the worst things I've ever eaten.
What?
Oh,
did not finish it. Ended up in a trash can. Yeah. Pop-Tart was good, and the cake was good. I would really like the Pop-Tart if we could warm it up, though. Like, I think the Pop-Tart would be a lot better warmed up.
That I'm so sorry because I liked it. As a matter of fact, the first one we tried, my wife didn't like the drink, but she liked the freeze-dried Skittles. So when we did it again, I asked them
freeze-dried
to keep
Skittles
the Skittles.
Are dope, except the 4-year-old.
I said, will you put them in a separate container? And so she ate the freeze-dried Skittles, and I had the drink. So I'm sorry you didn't like it.
You just drinking Dimetap? Is that what gets you going, buddy?
Wait, don't you? Weirdo.
No. No.
Hey, let's talk about these after hours things because I agree with you, Stephanie. Like the ones they do at Disneyland are these elaborate theme nights. And we talked about it earlier that, we've got the Sweethearts one and the Star Wars nights. And then we've also got the Disney Channel one that they're doing, which is sort of a throwback one. And that's really, no, it's not going to. It's not going to be there. It's not going to be there. Bet money. Bet money. It's not going to be there. So they won't
had
even
a
let
roller
Eric,
skating tryout.
They won't even let Eric Von Detten in this night. That's how bad it is. They were like, you can't even come in. That's what they're going to do.
Eric Von Detten paid, they let him in. It's not like he's banned.
Nope. He's been trespassed. He's been trespassed because he was up to no good.
Just not a soul skater.
Yeah.
There you go.
He was doing ollies on the rails. I don't know. There was some problem that I don't really know what was going on. But again, these events that they have out there make me want to go out there and go to them. But at Disney World, they do have these after hours events. But looking down at the pricing, so here's the Magic Kingdom. Start at $155 and they get up to $175 in April for a night per ticket. I believe that's more expensive than a day ticket and less time in the park, but I guess the idea is that you're going to spend that there's going to be less people in there, and plus you get Patrick can get his free ice cream sandwich. Free is free, but $125 for AP and DVC. But I started thinking about that. I was like, oh wow, that's a pretty good discount. That's $30, and then I thought, if you're AP, you have a ticket to get in anytime you want. And so we're paying $125 more for the opportunity to get in for an extra couple hours. Honestly, I've been to these events, a couple of them. It's a nice way to avoid large crowds because they limit the amount of people in there. I don't think they limit them enough, but they do limit the amount of people that are in there. My son and I went to the one for Animal Kingdom and got to do Everest like 3 or 4 times in a row, and Flight of Passage was walk on, and I mean that was a neat experience to have. But it's expensive, and I agree with you, Stephanie. There should be some sort of theming to these that make it a little bit more special than just free Diet Cokes and Mickey Premium bars.
Yeah, absolutely. You're talking about the price. If we go pre-pandemic, you were definitely you're getting your money's worth. You're getting your time whenever you were paying just $95 or less, per event. But now it's gotten to be so much. And if you want to get the most bang for your buck, if you're really going to do it, then obviously do the Magic Kingdom one, right? Because it just has so many more rides per square foot in the Magic Kingdom compared to the other ones. I did EPCOT back in August and it was fun. Don't get me wrong, it was fun, but of course you're walking and the whole World Showcase is basically shut down. So you just have Remy's, you have Frozen, you don't have the countries to walk around and enjoy. And so, yeah, it's just so large and you're walking a lot of the time that you're there. And bring your cooler because you get more than one of the ice cream bars or ice cream sandwiches, Patrick, if you want that. Stock up on that. But they had little things like they had a DJ out there with Chip and Dale dancing, in front of the Galaxy, what's it called? The Guardians of the Galaxy. I couldn't even think of the name for a minute. They had that out there, but why are you paying for that when you could just go over to Fort Wilderness and watch that cowboy rodeo thing,
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't disagree. Patrick, do you want to say something about this one before we move on? You were just there, and the crowds, would you pay this fee to not have to deal with them?
Cheaper for Genie Plus.
That's what I was going to say.
Not going to give you money to see Enchantment. If you brought back Wishes, maybe Pirate and Princess fireworks from back in the day. Yeah,
yes.
Summer Night-tastic, sure. You do something special, I'll give you money. I am easily separated from my wallet. It's easy, but you got to work for it a little bit. I'm not going to give it to you for a few extra hours at the park when I can do more with Genie Plus, which I'm ashamed that I'm still part of the problem. I know.
Well, plus that sweatshirt kind of proves your point. Desi, can you did
How
you want to
dare
say something
you?
before we
It
move
is
on?
gorgeous.
No, I was just agreeing with Patrick that because you want to be able to get through without deal with the crowds and the lines, it's cheaper to buy Genie Plus and buy your own Mickey Premium bars and buy popcorn without doing all this. Like, I paid that much for Jollywood Nights and got a much better experience than just a, couple extra hours in a regular park.
Yeah, but for Jollywood Nights and for the Mickey parties that they have at the Magic Kingdom, they're not going to limit the capacity to what they do for these. At the same time, the tickets are a little bit cheaper, and you're getting something unique because you're getting the Tip Top Club, or you're getting the what's this sing along. They're getting something. You're getting a unique experience when you go, which is again what the ones at Disneyland are with the Sweethearts and all that. So I think this has a place though, right? Because people are still buying them. And if it was a night when I was there, maybe I would consider it. But the other thing is when you are there and you are when they have those deluxe after hours. If you're staying in a deluxe hotel and they have those after hours, that to me beats this hands down, because it's a benefit for staying in the deluxe. It's cheaper. You don't have to pay all this money, and you still get to do a lot of walk on for attractions. So anyway. Let's move on to the Big River. This was an article that came out this week. I'd love to know what everybody else thinks about that, but the story is that the Big River Grill and Brewing Works is closing at Disney's BoardWalk, and they're going to have some food trucks filling in the gaps here. To be honest, I couldn't have told you this was over there, because I feel like a lot of times when I've gone, it's closed. Like when you go down to that end of the boardwalk, a lot of times Jelly Rolls, and especially obviously during COVID, but Jelly Rolls, Atlantic Dance Club, and there's these places are usually closed when I'm there, and so I don't get to see them. And normally I'm walking towards EPCOT, so I get to see like Trattoria Al Forno or the Pizza Window, or when Ample Hills was there or ESPN was there. But it seems like a bad time to close this when we don't have the cake bake shop open yet. We don't have the corn dog place open yet. Patrick, did you ever go to this one?
Yes, I did, and I honestly forgot it existed. And it's really sad because in 74 days I'll be back, and I'm staying at the boardwalk, and I have a babysitter, which I did not have in January. So I was like, oh, breweries. I love going to breweries. This will be a really good time. The times I've been there, it was fine. It's a good place. Boardwalk is an awesome resort. You are 100% correct, Rob. There is nothing open there right now. I mean, even some of the rooms, they're so delayed that they were canceling reservations. Disney got to do something. The food trucks is a great touch. I'm really happy. I don't know. Big River was not a Disney property, correct? It was somebody that paid to be there and then has decided. I would love to see Disney do its own brewery here. I doubt it's going to happen, but the equipment is in there. I mean, there's definitely a market for it. I think it would be a big swing from Disney, and I don't know if they're in the place that they would take a risk like that. I'd like to see it, though.
Stephanie?
Yeah, we were just staying there in November, and we had a great time. I agree with Patrick. It's a beautiful resort. And I do remember walking past it, like you're talking about, Rob, like we're walking, around the boardwalk area or something, and we walked past it. I think there were people in there, but I didn't go inside. So.
Yeah. Well, and again, my son loves to dance, and so he was like, when it was COVID, we went down there. He's like, oh, well, now that I'm old enough, Atlantic Dance Club, that sounds like a cool thing, but that was closed, and Jelly Rolls took a long time for those to come back, and there were weird hours and all that. But I feel like this is just a no man's land. After you pass the sundries shop, like the gift shop, I'm done on that side, and everything else is on the other side. So the food trucks will be interesting to see. The cake bake shop, I'm interested to see what that looks like. I'm gonna miss ESPN Club. I thought that was a neat offering to have there, but it would be nice for it just not to look like an old strip mall. It would be nice if the boardwalk looked a little bit better. I had higher hopes for what the boardwalk would be when they first rolled it out, and I think it's still got a lot of potential that's missing. It could still be a legitimate night spot for people to come and hang out. Desi, anything else on this before we move on?
I have never once been there. I don't think
the
I knew it
boardwalk?
was there. No,
the
of course
big
been to
river.
the boardwalk. It looks like it was hidden. Maybe having the food trucks will just be more visible for people to be like, oh, look, there's there.
Will they? Will the boardwalk support them though? I'm just kidding. What do you say?
I miss the entertainment that they used to have. You know, the guys on stilts. Do you remember that when they first opened?
Yes.
Years. Yeah, thank you. I miss that in that environment.
Jugglers,
that
sword swallowers.
Jugglers. Yes, like bring those guys back.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get on it.
Rob,
yeah.
you know what's at risk here if you don't get on it, Rob.
Would you stop? Would you stop? This
Get
is
on it,
this
Rob.
is torture. This is torture. I don't know why you're doing this to me.
You can have mine.
Wow. Desi's like, now that I have it, I'm kind of over it. It's not a big deal. I prefer the figments. It's fine. I don't know, the vibe that it's creating for you and your room, Desi. I think that's probably should stay right where it is.
I mean, I can get another one just in a few days.
Just like that.
She could have another you in a minute, Rob.
Exactly.
We can't. He'll be here in a minute.
Oh, anyway, let's talk about It Came from the Parks. These are stories where we have some interesting stories on WDWNT.com about things, and usually it's about ways that people are acting they shouldn't be acting, whether it's cast members or guests. And so this week we have 3 stories to choose from. I'll read all the headlines, and then we'll go around clockwise. We'll start with Stephanie, and we will let you pick one that you would like to talk about for time's sake. So one of them just dropped today, and I was like, well, thank goodness this is here, because I love mixing it up a little bit. Is a Florida man destroys, we use the word destroys, read through it, a bus door when he's dropped off at Disney World. He wanted to visit SeaWorld.
I didn't
Poor
finish
guy.
the headline.
He wanted to visit SeaWorld. Whose is this? Cast member looks for parents of a child who attacks a stormtrooper at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And a New Jersey man assaults a woman over a surface lot parking spot at Disney Springs. We're not even talking about the riffraff that rolls through the orange garage. We're talking about a surface lot situation, happening here. So, man, Stephanie, you get to pick one. I can't wait to see which one you're going to pick. I hope I know, but go ahead.
Well, I have all those kids, so I've got to go with the kid attacking the stormtrooper.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So when you watch the video, I will say this. I feel like he just got a little bit too enthusiastic. You know, when you interact with a stormtrooper, some kids are very scared and they want to run away and hide because they come up and talk to you. They do interact with you. And this kid, he just got a little bit aggressive, just pushed him a little bit, yeah. So I think he probably was, maybe there was more to this video we didn't see. Maybe they were bantering back and forth or, this kind of thing. And boys are rough and tumble. You got a son, Desi, you've got 2 little boys, back me up. They're rough and tumble, right? So I just think he's kind of like, throwing it at the stormtrooper. And then he kind of just, he goes a little bit too far. But his parents should have known. His parents should have apologized.
His parents should have been there.
Parents should have been there to begin with.
That I was going to say,
he's on
that
the dark side. He's got an AT-AT or something on his back. So
he does. He does have that. I agree with you. Like he looks like he's reaching for the gun that's on the stormtrooper's leg first, and then he decides to push him. I mean, he's just living his Star Wars adventure.
That's right. It's his story.
If only there was a place you could do that.
That's what happens when you
Too
close
soon,
a
Patrick.
Star Cruiser.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you get.
I think that's what we're all talking about here. But yeah, to the point of the headline saying, whose is this? The cast member's like, okay, this kid just attacked our people. Anybody want to claim it? Like, who's going to step up and go, it's mine. Like, let's wait for everybody to stop staring and then pull them out and keep going. No, it's definitely one of those.
I think if Kylo had been there, it wouldn't have happened.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, my kids would have been the opposite. My kids, they see a stormtrooper, the first thing they do is go,
Go the order. Yeah. Anyway, Patrick, what you got? Which one? Which one are you looking?
Why did that guy Bro, you fell asleep, man. It's on you. Like, if you show up at Disney Springs, you're like, well, this isn't SeaWorld. Yeah, you fell asleep. Like, I fell asleep on the bus in Philadelphia. I went to a lot worse places than Disney Springs. I didn't assault the bus. That's on me. I thought it was going to be a story like where people are like, oh, we're going to the Harry Potter park and they end up at Epcot. I thought it was something, but you fell asleep, man. There's no reason for you to beat up a bus. Also, the bus wins every time. I hate to tell you, the bus is going to win.
Well, and in the story, like, again, our headline says destroys bus door, but apparently he kicked the door, which, you do. If you are not at SeaWorld, you get angry. Like, that's how you feel when you're not at SeaWorld. You're just angry. And he starts kicking the door. And the Lynx and the Lynx bus driver, they equate the price to $500 worth of damage. That feels not like destroyed, but okay. And apparently
I feel that's legitimate. I feel like legitimately a $500 door seems about right. I mean, It doesn't take much to destroy a door for it not to be functional anymore.
True. Like a monorail door. Ooh. All right, Desi. You can talk about either of those two, or grab the third one. What you got?
I'll go ahead and go with the third one. Why are you fighting over a surface lot spot? This isn't even the line garage we're talking about,
right?
Like, what is even so close that you need? It's like, I've got a reservation I've got to get to, and wherever I'm going is closest to the surface lot, so I have to park here to get there. I don't know, just drop whoever you're with off near the front so they can go check into your reservation, and go. Garage is even a better option than the surface lot. Like, when you have options to park in a garage, why are you going to the surface lot in the first place? And if you are going to the surface lot, is it worth fighting over a spot into somebody else's car, leaning into her window and smacking her in the face? Absolutely.
We're talking the watermelon lot
garage spot. So
exactly. Yeah, we're talking watermelon lot. I mean, the stakes are always higher in the watermelon lot. I don't know how many people actually knew. Yeah,
maybe I would understand a little bit more, but absolutely not for watermelon.
Save this crap for the grapefruit lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, that garage over there is, we don't do
like
this in watermelon. It's like, and it's really funny that, I mean, it's not funny, but it's like, why are you so angry that you want to reach into the window and grab a woman driving in the spot? I can't imagine that they're hurting for spots over in the watermelon lot, but apparently it gets pretty bad. Maybe she wanted to run in and get some souvenirs from House of Blues. And that's why she wanted to do that. I mean, it could happen. You never know. But thank you guys for playing that. I appreciate it. It's always interesting to see. This is also interesting is there is the Floor of the Future is here. Now, why Zach Ridley didn't tell us about this, I don't know. But the Floor of the Future is here. And it's the HoloTile Floor. There's this video featuring Lanny Smoot, who works for Walt Disney Imagineering, is getting an award for an Inventor Award for this flooring, which is kind of set up for VR. So basically the gist is they have a test area for this floor, and you step on the floor and you can use it as sort of like a treadmill that you walk on it, and as you walk it kind of moves underneath your feet, and then you can also use it in ways to move things around a room. So they show in the video a box sitting there and then moving it around this floor. It's pretty amazing. And so I guess I wanted to kind of check in with you guys and see, what, like, I'll start with you, Patrick, is where you think this could be used in the parks, because this is not just a patent. We're looking at something that exists that they could use. And part of me is like, the sky's the limit. And the other part of me is somebody, because as we know, guests ruin everything. Someone's going to break an ankle immediately, and then we're going to have to like rip up the tile. I don't know. Talk to me.
I would like to actually quote one of our former WWNT staff members, Zach Larson, looking forward to the public tech demo, then never hearing the company mention this again. Do you know where it's going to end up, Rob? Nowhere. It's going to end up absolutely nowhere, because this is what Disney's MO is right now. Announce new technology, this, that, and the other, and then crickets. Absolute crickets, because they're not doing anything to make significant improvements right now. Do you want to know what's behind and beyond Big Thunder Mountain? Tumbleweeds and broken dreams. That's what's behind there.
Aww.
Because that's what this company has been doing lately. They took 6 years, was it 6 years, to remodel EPCOT, and it's a college quad, and it's still not done.
Ooh,
This is never going to be in use. I'm really glad. Lanny seems like a great guy. I'm glad he's going into the Inventors Hall of Fame, but this is never going to happen, ever. And I'm sorry that it has to be this way, but it's not me. It's Disney.
Well, and what they're talking about here is the capability within VR, and I still don't know how you use VR well. The Mario Kart attraction is AR, the one that they have in Super Nintendo World, and that's really more of a, we're going to give you this hat, we just cleaned it, and then you pop on this visor, and then, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, and that's not even legit VR. So while this looks cool, if the Void still existed, I'd say put it in the Void, and that would be a great thing to happen. But I mean, like, they do, like, you see this, like the box moving around the floor, so there's stuff where they're pretending like they have the Force to do it. But like moving this chair around the floor looks amazing. But I still feel like that's something you do for a show where you have somebody who's trained, who's not going to sue you if something happens. I was thinking of Reed Carney in Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, the musical that Julie Taymor directed, that was riddled with issues and errors and injuries. They had a treadmill where he looked like he was walking. I could see you doing that in a stage show here. That would be very cool. But again, like they're going to have to figure out VR and then how this works into it. But Desi, thoughts?
I miss the Void. I wish they would bring it back in, if Disney brought some version of the Void back with this, that would be super cool. It was such a great experience. Also, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Microbots from Big Hero 6. So I thought, maybe they could do a show with Hero and Baymax over at Disney's California Adventure, or heck, do it here. That would be fantastic to have Baymax back, because I miss him. I think that this looks awesome, and I'm also shocked that this is the first guy since Walt Disney to be in the Inventors Hall of Fame. Not one other Imagineer between Walt and this guy has gotten in. That's shocking.
Wow.
Yeah, and Walt was in for the multiplane camera, which I think feels like it was a team effort. I don't feel like that was something that he made in his garage, that he had a team of people that did it, but he dreamed it, they did it, and he got the award. So I think, again, this is great for Lanny. I'm excited for him getting this award. If you go watch that video on YouTube or on our website, go ahead and skip the first 3 minutes. It is the most awkward. patter I have ever heard. It's it's so cheesy. They could have done it so much better. They walk in and they're like, "Oh, Lanny, do we disturb you?" "No, come on in." "Well, we heard you doing this Inventors thing." "Yeah, that's great." It's like, "Oh, you mind showing us around here?" "Not at all." It's like, who are you fooling? I thought you guys were supposed to be expert storytellers. Not expert. Sorry. Let's move on to the. I'm sorry, but again, we're excited for him. And bless his heart, and I'm glad that is happening, but he needs better writers, I think, is where I'm going with that. In Tokyo, there is a Tower of Terror, and I hear it's amazing, just like everything in Tokyo is. It is, but it is. But oh yeah, you're going?
Yeah.
Are you going during this? It says from now through April 7th, Tokyo Disney Sea will get to experience 2 alternate versions of the Tower of Terror that amp up the scares. And the way that they put this, they say that it's going to be there are 3 separate time frames. So the first one, they're going to make the Tower of Terror level 13, and then the second one is Tower of Terror level 13, which again, be more creative, Shadows of Shiriki, and then the third one will be fan voted. I mean, okay. But it says that they're like upping the excitement of this attraction. Desi, don't you feel like it should just be upped all the time if they can do that?
Maybe. Look, I've got a kid who just now is exactly the height to be Tower of Terror. I feel like the regular Tower of Terror is going to be scary enough for him. So I'm kind of glad that it's not going to be this amped up one when we go. However, if there is an amped up one, maybe make that one just like a few inches taller so that it's not like a 3-year-old can go in. Make it so that like, you know, a 6-year-old or something can get in. Somebody who's going to be able to handle it a little bit better than a 3-year-old. That's just what I think.
Stephanie?
Yeah, I've never been to Tokyo Disney. Totally jealous there. Does he take me too? But anyway, I've always heard that they don't like to have as quite as big thrills that we do over here in the States. So that's probably why they're saying this for a limited experience, we're going to do it the way that we have it over here at Disney World, maybe. And they drop it from the very top. We did Jollywood Nights, and I think I may have said this to you before, Rob, but it did do it longer during that event, and I felt my 2 youngest girls, well, not the baby, but the other 2 young girls, went on it with me, and one's 7, and she definitely thought that was super super scary, because they shot us all the way back up to the top and dropped us all the way, whereas, you know, before they'll just do the randomized drop sequence and then that's it. So it did feel longer. Maybe they're making it longer this time.
I mean, I get what you're saying. For your children, keep it tame so that they'll get on it. And I love that there are attractions that everybody can ride. But when the verbiage says, so where they can enjoy Tower of Terror with more thrills than it usually has.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like, if it can go to 11, take it to 11.
I mean, for me, I agree. I'm just talking about my who is now tall enough for Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be any scarier than it is right now.
I assume it's more about the up and down and not necessarily like scary or like boo scary, although the Shadows of Shiriki certainly sounds like that one could be that way. Patrick, anything on this before we move on?
They've definitely added some elements, like when, again, really weird that I brought it up twice in one show. Summer Night-tastic was going on. They added different drive sequences, and they added some more effects. So, I don't know. I think everything could be a little more thrilling. It's the Tower of Terror. It's not the Tower of Family Fun and Adventure. I know the park's for everyone, and I do have a kid, too, who's getting up there in height, but I don't know. Some stuff should be scary. I like it when it's more thrilling. And of course, since it's in Tokyo, it has to be better than what we have here. Obviously. Clearly.
Tower, I'm writing that down. Tower of Family Fun and Adventure. I love it. Like, let's do that one. We're on Tiana Watch. That's the thing that I said last year. We're gonna be talking about this for a while, just like we were talking about Tron and Guardians and all the things that we're anticipating, especially because this attraction in both Disneyland and Disney World is the e-ticket of the year. Even though it is a reskin or a refurbishment of a previous attraction, this is the big deal. Like, we're going to see the Bears show, and we're going to see a couple other things that are going to change or be upgraded, but this one is the big deal. So, again, forgive us for talking about it too much here, but we need to talk about important things, like now you can't get to the Frontierland bathrooms. That is a thing. So but look at all this construction that's happening right up here. They've finally closed the Frontierland bathrooms, and they're doing more construction on the queue. So it'll be interesting to see what the queue looks like when it's all said and done. Obviously, they've got the mural is painted, and they're working on that rock work, which visibly hurts my eyes. The rock work. I guess again that's original Louisiana rock work that they've put together there. Stephanie, is that what we're led to believe here?
Sure.
But more exciting than that is NOLA.com, which is the newspaper in New Orleans, their website. They went and got to take a tour of the inside, and we're talking about how amazing everything is. And one of the things that they were talking about was there are cardboard cutouts inside the building where they're going to be animatronics. And I thought to myself, I would like to see that footage. Like, please show me photos of like a cardboard stand-up of Lewis just standing there. Like, I mean, is it well done? Is it kind of like Back to the Future? I didn't have time to build this to scale or to paint it. Like, is it that kind of a thing? Like, are they what?
Are they 100% sure that those are just stand-ins that
there
there
it
will
is.
be animatronics for?
Well,
You're
that's
thinking,
what I'm
you're
saying.
thinking, you're thinking this is a Three Amigos. I mean, a Three Caballeros situation, right? This is a Three Caballeros.
I mean,
yeah. No.
why do they have the cardboard cutouts there at all?
For reference, they're not ready yet.
Sightlines.
So yeah, so here's some of the the stuff that we can see. But they're going to do animatronics that are the same faces as the advanced physical faces that we see for Hong Kong Frozen, rather than what you see on the left, as opposed to the ones on the right, which are the projection ones that we have in Florida. But this one, the inside, where you can see some of the foliage and the marsh and the things that have been replaced there, actually look pretty cool. So I'm excited to see that. But again, I want to see the cutout. Like, I want to see this cardboard cutout. Like, show me the behind the scenes here of this. Stephanie, does this article get you excited about it? Or are you still like, this has got to be way too far away to even care?
Way too far away, and they better put those physical faces on. Thank you very much. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. Patrick?
I'm with Desi. I want to see the fact that there will be audio animatronics there. Having just been in the park, Splash Mountain looks completely and totally different than it used to. It's really been transformed. I don't know if it's authentic New Orleans because I have not been there yet, but looks good. People are excited about this. I actually heard so much buzz on monorails when people were just kind of walking out of the Frontierland train station. I'm hoping they have big shoes to fill, and hopefully it really does the job.
Am I wrong about this the flagstone? It just looks like a lot. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, let's get Zach Ridley in to talk about this. Let's go to Desi before we move on this one.
Make the faces happen on the Frozen ride too. Just
Yes.
as soon as this opens, close Frozen, get those animatronics updated, pretty please.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you. Like, they have the technology. Clearly, it can be done. So yeah. So let's make it happen. I do want to shout out one more super chat and that I'm seeing. It's Theme Parks and Things, $5 super chat, just because y'all are awesome, and the wigs. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. We're big fans of each other and you guys. So there you go. That's awesome. Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you. Let's move on. This is something. They're getting new gates at Disneyland, and I talked about this on an episode either a week ago or 2 weeks ago. The fact that it's weird to me how different the operational services are between Disneyland and Disney World. That these are they're run by the same company. This should be everything that they. I mean, I get having different attractions. I want there to be different attractions on different coasts, but the way they operate is so different sometimes that it's like, when we were showing the Valentine stuff, it's not the same in both parks. Most people are not going to get to go to both. Why wouldn't you have the same foods? I don't know. But the gates here are this is not the original gates for Disneyland, and yet it still feels like they're right out of the 50s because it's that old style turnstile. They're very small. They have they use iPhones to take your picture and then you scan in. Most people still scan in with their phones and not Magic Bands. They still haven't sort of been trained to do Magic Bands. So there have been patents. There have been, not patents, but permits. Thank you. Filed to do new gates at both of these parks. So here's the one for Disney California Adventure. And again, that's a newer park, and yet the gates are basically identical to the ones that you see over at over at Disneyland. Patrick, you were out there not so long ago.
Yep.
Were you thrown by the difference between going into the Magic Kingdom and going into Disneyland?
The little turnstiles were certainly a bit of a throwback. I did not know that's not the original gate for Disneyland. There's no reason for it to be like that then. Also, the whole DCA, Disney Hollywood Studios vibe, they gotta change that up. They need to change that gate stylistically more than just functionally, I think. The Art Deco style is not kind of in theme with everything else. I know a little bit as you walk in, but I'm interested to see. You really need to do something special for Disneyland. I know they're talking about accessibility and this, that, and the other, but it also needs to stylistically look good and look like it's supposed to be in front of the place where Walt walked. So we got big shoes to fill there. DCA, whatever. Just make it look nice and be functional.
Okay. I don't know. Stephanie, do you have an opinion on this one way or another?
No, I agree with Patrick. I feel like, keep the charm of the original look, maybe update the turnstile like you're talking about, the actual functionality of it, but keep the look of it for Disneyland. And yeah, for DCA, I always wondered why it looked like Hollywood Studios. Maybe because it was supposed to mimic a studio production kind of thing too, whenever they brought that out there. But I think, let Hollywood Studios be its own thing and let DCA be a separate aesthetic.
Well, and that wasn't the original. When it was Disney California Adventure originally, they had the big California letters out in front, and
right.
so the entranceway was different. You would walk into the park, and it looked like there were huge. It was like just huge postcards and oversized. And there was the San Francisco, like the Golden Gate Bridge, where the monorail would go across, and they remade the whole thing into sort of a mock Main Street of a different era from when Walt came to California versus like his hometown. So I like the vibe now. I liked it then, though. I thought it was very unique and very California. So the more this park becomes less like California, the more I think it doesn't need to be called California Adventure.
It doesn't. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah, all of my favorite California things are here. Pixar Pier and Avengers Campus, and all of my favorite California things are
It
out
makes as much sense as having a Beauty and the Beast themed bar in the Grand Floridian.
Right.
Okay, fair enough.
Or Hollywood Studios, for that matter. Like Hollywood Studios, Hyperion Wharf Overdrive Park Day Pass, whatever they were deciding to call it, would have been a better name.
I love that instead of renaming it, though, they just justified it. Well, you're living your movie experience, so it's still called Hollywood.
It's literally your neighbors.
You're living that experience. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, let's talk about the whole reason that any of us are annual pass holders is so we can get that magnet. Get that magnet. That's why you want to be in there. Sometimes they mail them to you. Sometimes you have to go to EPCOT to pick them up. Always it's difficult if you have to go pick them up because they make sure to get your blood sample. And, honestly, it's kind of crazy what you have to go through. And yet I'll still do it. Like they did the pass holder, like you're picking up your old magnets like the last time I was there. So I got the Oswald and the Figment one, which are amazing. But so the newest one that's been announced is that it's going to be a Moana annual pass holder magnet. And we don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but I find it weird that it would look like it was in this style. Like here's Oswald and Figment in the, like that Mickey style, the one that Desi always says #NotMyMickey. Like this is in that style of drawing. Are they going to do that with Maui? Or are they going to do that with Moana? What do you want to see, Desi?
I don't know. Just please make that style go away. Also, I will give you a blood sample if you actually mail me anything. I'm still waiting on so many magnets. I never received any wrapping paper. I have 3 annual passes, soon to be 4 annual passes in the house. Why can't I ever get anything mailed to me? Is it shipping from Orlando to Tampa? That's just too expensive to ship it all the way here. I don't know. Yeah. But
no, it certainly sounds
I never get anything shipped to me, so I will gladly go pick one up. Or give me the option. Give me the option. check here if you want it mailed to you, check here if you want to be able to go pick it up in the park. And because I don't trust that they're actually going to mail me anything, I will just go get it myself.
How do you really feel? Wow. Patrick, you are newly activated as an annual pass holder. You had your annual pass, but you didn't get to activate it until this past trip. Now that you are, how do you feel about the magnet?
Send me my magnet. It's expensive to get there. The least you can do is give me a magnet. You know how much I spend. I know you're tracking it. Just give me the stupid magnet. Send it to my house. Thank you for the wrapping paper.
Wait, did you get the wrapping paper?
I did get the wrapping paper. I didn't even have an active.
I am so mad.
Ooh, and his wasn't even activated? What? Oh, no. Desi.
That's ridiculous.
Gotta call him.
And I hope the magnet's in that Mickey form to just put a little more salt in the wounds.
Oh, no.
If they have Moana in that awful animation style, I will be so angry.
Moana like this, please. Thank you. Well, I mean,
No.
wait, they've got a match. They've got a match. It can't be different. They've got a match.
I think
they have a
they're
bond
going to go
going
back
on.
to the oval. I think that's what
Then
that
I hope
is.
it's a Kakamora.
Ooh.
I hope it's a Kakamora and not actually Moana or Maui.
Kind of
If
Bring
they're
on-
going to do that. It
Bring
might
on
be cute
Pua.
if it was a Kakamora.
Pua has that
Hey,
undeserved
hey.
fame.
Yes,
Whoa.
Pua was cute. Hey, stupid.
You say, whoa! All this recklessness suddenly in this.
No.
group.
I like Pua. I'm just saying, like, I
Okay.
expected as much merch as there was for Pua to be like, it to go Moana, Pua, and then Maui. Like, I expected it to be that
Pua
much.
got hurt early on and he needed to rest.
He wasn't even part of the movie.
Maybe he
Doesn't
didn't
Stop
cast
it.
well.
Should've
I
been.
don't know. It's
Everyone
fine.
leave Pua alone. This is disrespectful.
It is
The
disrespectful.
only stuffy my son sleeps with is his Pua stuffy. He does.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
the only one he
The
cares
baby
about.
Pua that was in like the little swaddling. Yeah, my daughter
No,
has that one
just
too.
regular
It's-
Pua.
Oh. She wanted a big Pua today. I said that's too big of a Pua.
You say Pua a lot.
I like the little pig. He's adorable.
All right, let's wrap this up. So DVC updates, I dropped them into the same bucket, and I don't know if we got vibes from this particular panel on it, but I know we've talked about the very Polynesian tower that's coming. So here's how the regular one looks, and here's how Polynesian the new one looks. So very Polynesian, but they've actually they've poured the pool. And there's been some dock refurbishments going on and construction, so things are on the way here. And then also over at another property that is beloved, the DVC cabins are opening on July 1st. So Patrick, let me start with you since you are a DVC owner. Which of these are you looking to book first?
I just want to say how angry I am at both of these. I want to make my anger abundantly clear that I think it's ridiculous that Fort Wilderness is becoming DVC only, and that building is hideous. Every time I went past it on the monorail, it made me physically angry. That being said, I cannot wait to go stay at Fort Wilderness. I'm hopeful that it'll be a decent price point. I haven't seen price guides yet. They have to be out soon because if they're saying it's opening, that thing at the Polynesian is an abomination. It's horrible. It's awful. I'll probably
just
stay
don't
there, but it's still bad.
Yeah, you just don't get it how Polynesian it is. Desi, thoughts?
Yeah, so Polynesian. As someone who grew up with grandparents in Hawaii, I can tell you how Polynesian that is. No, not even a little bit. I was trying to give it the benefit of the doubt that, oh, well, maybe they just haven't added things to it. Look how well they did Aulani, and that had towers. The more it goes up, the more disheartened I'm feeling on the overall Polynesian vibe of this place. Maybe the interior will look great.
I was going to
We'll
say,
see.
there could be some, we don't know what the amenities are going to be. Maybe there's going to be an amazing pool. Maybe there's going to be awesome dining. There could be some things coming that will make us forget that it looks like a cookie cutter. Yeah, a cookie cutter Hilton, Hampton Inn, generic, whatever. So, and then I'm going to ask Stephanie because, again, you are also a DVC member, I believe. So are there one of these that you like, that you're excited about, or are you on the same page as the rest?
I echo the sentiments before, but yeah, I call it the Waikiki Tower because it just looks like a high rise on the beach that obstructs your view. And I agree with Patrick. I shed a tear every time I go past it. But I will say, like I said before, you throw it a bone, you know, they have the extra bathroom in the 1-bedroom unit. So that's nice that you have 2 bathrooms set up there. But yeah, I'm sad for that. I'm sad for the Fort Wilderness cabins. Like, why couldn't they have just brought DVC in and updated the cabins instead of taking all the beautiful, you know, wood paneling and things like that and put shiplap up? Like, that's just, you know, so 10 years ago.
I'm sorry, shiplap has to be involved in any new project that happens. So, so sorry about that. And before we go, we do have one more super chat here. Desi's doing the dance. I appreciate that from the theme parks and things with Johnny. I just want to I want the premiere pass to come back so I can go to both coast parks. If they were to bring it back, Disney, take my money. Again, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. And yeah, I think we're all like that. I mean, you know, the idea of the premiere pass, I know that they cornered Chapek on one of those calls and said, hey, is this ever coming back? He's like, well, we'll look into it and see what the interest is. Clearly people are interested. I know Kamila talks about it all the time. I think a lot of people would love to see this come back. And, you know, in the meantime, people are begging in the streets for magic keys because they sold out so quickly. And I don't know. It just feels like they just need to be better to their pass holders. And that's why Desi doesn't get wrapping paper. Sorry. No wrapping paper for you.
Salt in the wound.
Stephanie, did you get wrapping paper?
I did, because we were on
Me
the
too.
show with Annie, I think, or no. And it was like the week after, and I received it. I know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Allie opened hers up on the show.
Allie.
One
It
magnet.
was Allie. Yep.
Yeah.
Not even one magnet. No wrapping paper. They obviously have my address because I still get like all the ads in the mail.
You get
All
your,
the
you get your
sign up
payment
for
it.
the Chase Visa.
The bill shows up like clockwork, but no magnets. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
The other thing that gets me is if like when they do mail them, though, I have a family of 4. We all have annual passes, and when they do mail them, you get 1, maybe 2 for the entire house.
Yes, I got 2. We have 6.
Right, but exactly, right? You're like, wait a minute. And they come addressed to my son, which is not good for me either, because then I have to get to the mail before he does, or he'll go, well, this is addressed to me. I get this magnet. Nope, sorry. That is not the way this works, because when I pay, I get the magnet. Sorry, that's how that works. All right, thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you guys for all the super chats tonight. We appreciate you. And if you haven't already, check out, give us a thumbs up, help people find us. Check out last week's, the past couple weeks of ParksCenter. We've had a lot of good episodes on, and also Deep in the Plus. We have another Deep in the Plus this week. Just so you know, we did Mrs. Doubtfire last Wednesday. And that was Allison and I did that one, and we're going to have Dumbo with my friend Maleko from Hawaii. Maybe I'll run by him how Polynesian he thinks that building is. January 31st, Desi and I are going to be doing Echo, the series that dropped, all 5 episodes. Woo. And then our Herbie correspondent, Mr. Patrick Hackett, is coming back with his pick of the next movie we're going to talk about.
Monte Carlo, baby.
Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo. Yeah, I don't know how we top Herbie Goes Bananas having, you know, Joaquin Garay III actually on the show, but, you know,
That's
I mean,
awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. So
go check that out. We need more likes and views.
Deepintheplus.com. You can get all of our reviews, deepintheplus.com, and enjoy all of those. And please join us on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. for that. And, of course, next Sunday night for another ParksCenter. And before we go also, we want to give a shout-out to our WIGS members, the WDWNT Interglobe Society. Thank you guys for being part of the family. And if you want to know more about how to be a WIGS member, you can go to patreon.com/WDWNT to find out more. If you become a WIGS member, you're almost guaranteed to get your annual pass magnet sent to you. Almost guaranteed.
I still pay for wigs.
Almost guaranteed.
I still don't get mine.
Almost. But thank you to all our WIGS members. We appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. all of you coming and joining us and hanging out with us while we get silly on this show every week. So thank you guys for doing that. And if you are a Wigs member, we do have a quick post show after this. So stick around if you're a Wigs member, and everybody else. Have a great week. Be safe out there, and we'll see you soon. It's quality. That's how you know it's quality right